Hi. So today we're going to be talking about runes. And you're probably wondering, what are runes? Simply put, runes are a tool for divination that utilizes stones or some sort with these little symbols. Runes are actually Old Norse symbols. We're going to be using this set of runes today to do a reading. Kind of tell you how this works. Now, you can do rune readings in one of two ways. One is a simple throw. Typically, you would have an area outlined that'll let you know your past, your present, your future, and also what is out of bounds. We're going to make this up as we go along because usually you would do this on a small table and anything that falls off is not used. But there's also the way of putting your runes in a bag, shaking them up, and pulling a rune out and getting your rune. Today we're going to be going through some of the most, I don't want to say commonly used runes because there are so many. And we're going to go through a rune reading together. So for the purpose of today's rune reading, we're going to use a little notepad. And you're going to do this in proportion to your personal self. So anything in this general area is the most important. Anything past this general area is going to be excluded. If it doesn't land between these two, then we're not going to use them. And you're going to shake up your wrist, and you're going to see how this works. So what I'm looking at is, first you take all of the ones that are not showing a rune. We're going to remove all of those. All right. Step one, done. Now we're going to remove anything past our furthest line, which leaves us these. Now when it comes to rune readings, clusters like this are important. So we're going to set those off to the side. This is going to be something that happens so far in the future that it's probably not going to be relevant for a long time. These two we're going to consider clustered, and these two we're going to consider clustered. And then you start your reading. Okay, so let's get into it. So looking at what we have in front of us, we're going to start with this section here. And one of our first symbols that we have is this right here. So this is Berkana. Now, please pardon my wording. I might mess up some of the words, but we have Berkana. We have this symbol here, which is Opila. We have Dagar. We have Fehu, which is one of my favorites. We have Quarth, and we have Taiwez. So, what do these runes mean? Well, I'm going to start with Fehu, because this is one that I use regularly on the everyday. Fehu is a symbol for prosperity and wealth. So we're already off to a great start. Now if we go to Berkana, it's about fertility, new beginnings. Fertility doesn't always mean having a baby. It usually means birthing new ideas. So far we're birthing new ideas that are going to be fruitful, prosperous. Loving the sound of this. Add in Opila. This is the symbol of legacy, property, inheritance. So whatever kind of plan we're birthing is going to be fruitful and provide for a successful legacy and some property. Add in Quarth. We're going to have fire, flame, transformation. These ideas that we're birthing are going to be powerful. They're going to be fruitful. They're going to be abundant and successful. And they're going to be passion-filled. Aden Taiwas. It's going to be strength, warrior, duty. These are going to be things that you're drawn to. These are going to be the things that we feel compelled to by a sense of loyalty, duty, and that passion inside. And finally, Dagar, which is happiness and success. Now, if I was just focused on these, I would say that sometime in my near future, there's going to be an idea that comes to life that is going to be fueling me from the inside. It's going to be an idea that is so powerful that it's going to result in massive success, massive happiness, massive wealth. It's going to be something that my soul mission calls me to do. Any idea what that could be? Let's continue. Now, this was in our immediate future. These were the things that were the closest to us. Next, we had these two runes, and this rune off to the side. So let's take a look at those. The first rune we have is Awas. Now, this is for motion, energy, power, put together with the symbol for os, or communication. That tells me that while this is the immediate soon to happen, we're going to have some very powerful communication that's going to result in more energy, more fuel. Hello, speaking engagements. Connecting it to our next cluster, we have the Urus, which is about strength and energy. So essentially, there is going to be a strength or an energy source that's going to fuel these communication powers and lead us to our next group, which is Iwas, which is transformation. It's a turning point. And Isa, which is patience and reflection. Essentially, we have our idea over here that is fueling our inner fire. It is our soul mission. It is going to be providing success and property and happiness in the very near future. Once that happens, there's going to be some sort of event. It's going to involve communication, and it's going to be a power source, a strength, and an energy that is going to fuel us into a transformative turning point of patience and reflection. Sounds like all of this success is going to lead to some shadow work. But we still have one more rune. Don't forget, we have this little rune up here that's our future, and it's a little bit further away. This is Jera, okay? Jera is a stone or a symbol of change, cycle, and reward. Now, if there's anything that you've ever learned from me or from any other shadow worker, it's that every time we overcome some sort of cycle, some sort of healing, there's gonna be more, but there's always rewards at the end. So yes, we have here a set of runes that's telling us that we are gonna be having some very fruitful, very positive, beneficial financial gains coming in the very near future. Okay, I'm here for this. We have the next set, which is telling us that after we achieve that success, after we achieve that property, keyword there, there's going to be some sort of event. The event is going to involve communicating, energy, power. And because of that energy, it's going to also include transformation. It's going to include patience and reflection. That tells me that once this successful idea, once this money, once this property comes into play, there's most likely going to be a very public speaking engagement, okay? And that speaking engagement is going to be a catalyst for more energy in my business, but also a lot of much needed self-reflection, much needed shadow work, much needed inner healing. And once I break through that pattern, once I do that inner healing, once I get past the fear of success, we're gonna have the change in the cycle. We're gonna get the reward of being able to enjoy our success. this is how you do a very simple rune read. Now, I love doing rune reads for people. I feel like these are so interesting because, like I just showed, I had no particular question in mind. I had nothing other than a simple demonstration for you. And it turned into a very thought-provoking and accurate portrayal of my life as it is right now. I am currently working on ideas. I am trying to get property. I am trying to bring to life this new massive undertaking. It's true. But also at the same time, I have speaking engagements coming up that could be huge catalysts for change. And if what this is telling me is true, then these speaking engagements are not only the end of these engagements, but also the beginning of something much more massive and transformational. Now, if you would love, or if you need to have a rune reading in your life, if you are faced with some difficult questions and you want a pendulum reading, if you are torn between outcomes and you want a tarot card reading, if you are searching for answers and you don't even know the question and you want an oracle reading, this is what I do. Albeit most of the time I do these readings online during lives just for fun, but this is what I do. I do these readings every day. I do these readings on the regular for people just like you. And if you feel like you need to know what the runes are telling you, maybe you just want to know what your birth rune is, because wearing your birth rune can actually amplify your own natural power. Maybe you really need that question answered. Maybe you really want to see where your life is going. Maybe you really just want to know that you're right when you know you are, but you're second guessing yourself. Please comment your personal need right now and let's get you taken care of. Or you can just go to my website, which is www.stacyleannelp.com, and book your reading today, because at the end of the day, I'm here to help you. I hope you enjoyed this quick little mini divination session with all runes today. I am so excited to have been able to do something for you live that was also so personally transformative. I will see you in our next video. Don't forget to give a like, a subscribe, and a follow. No, a like, a comment, a follow, the things. Do the things, okay? Do the things. Hit the buttons, and we'll see you soon. Bye, Radiant Souls.